Hello everyone, I'm Roshan Jahan Ahmed and I welcome you all to my channel. Today we are going to discuss about a topic from UGC NET paper 1, which is the common paper, and the unit that we are going to touch is unit 1, and the name of the unit is teaching aptitude. So let's begin. So today we will start with the very first topic of this paper and from the first unit, that is concept of teaching. And when we say concept of teaching, what do we mean by teaching? So we often use the two words teaching and learning together, isn't it? For example, the teaching learning process. Now we all know, those who have studied psychology or education or in any other paper or subject for that matter, that the definition of learning involves change in behavior. Okay, so anything which has to be termed as learning has to have change in behavior. Only then can it be called as learning, right? And what aids in learning? Teaching aids in learning. And thus we can conclude that teaching is a process which helps in bringing change in behavior. Okay? And this change is according to the needs of the society. Now let's move to the definitions of teaching. So the definitions of teaching as given by some of the great thinkers are listed here. I have put two definitions here. The first one is by B.O. Smith, and he says that teaching is a system of actions intended to produce learning. So what does teaching do? Teaching is a system of actions intended to produce learning. And next definition that we have here is Ryburn. And according to Ryburn, teaching is a relationship which helps the child to develop all his powers. So these are very easy definitions out there. Now we move to the elements in teaching. So what are the elements which are involved in teaching? We have first the teacher. So we will need a teacher to teach. Then we need learner, one who will learn out of the taught material. And then we need the curriculum. Now what is curriculum? Curriculum is what the teacher will teach, right? The systematic way of compiling all the materials which are to be taught to the pupil. Then we have other variables. For example, we can take the name of the environment or the teaching setup. For example, the great teacher Socrates, the great philosopher and teacher Socrates, he used to teach his pupils um, at marketplaces. Wherever there was a congregation of a few people, he used to go and teach them, or sometimes he used to collect people, he used to congregate them and teach them by the roadside. And in modern times, teaching, that is the traditional teaching, happens in a classroom setting. And in today's time, the post-pandemic time, we have online teachings, or the ones where the teacher is in his or her own place and the pupils are at their respective places. So there are various other variables which are involved in the process of teaching. And what do these elements do? All these elements together help us to reach the predetermined goals. So all these elements work towards predetermined goals. Now we will move to some of the characteristics of teaching. Now, when you sit for the examination of UGC NET, and those of you who have already sat for the examination, you have come across these questions, I suppose, that which of the following are characteristics of teaching? So there is a possibility that you will come across this question again, where you may have to choose among options regarding the characteristics of teaching, or they may term it as the nature of teaching, the features of teaching, etc. So let's go through some of the characteristics of teaching. So one, it is a means of communicating information. Okay, so teaching helps in communicating information. it is also an instrument of learning. Okay, the second point is that it is an instrument of learning. And it helps in adjusting to one's environment. Also, teaching is a way of stimulation and encouragement. So it helps the pupil to get energized to learn. It is also a means of guidance and training. Teaching is both a conscious and unconscious process. And teaching is a means of preparation. And this preparation is for the future life, the life ahead of the pupil. Next we have the point, teaching is formal as well as informal. Okay, easy to understand. Then we have, it is a skill occupation. That means one who will teach needs to have certain skills of teaching. Okay, so it is a skill occupation. It is also a social service. Okay, you are doing good to the society if you are involved in the act of teaching. Then it's a relationship. Okay, it's a relationship where two sides are involved, and the relationship involves interaction, right? Then the last point here is that teaching is both an art and science. And this was given by Silverman. And Silverman compared teaching to, he compared teachers to doctors. Why? For example, the field of medicine, okay? The manufacturing of medicine is a science. But the application of medicine to the patient according to the needs is an art. So, in the same manner, teaching has been compared to the act of practicing medicine. And this quote was given by Silverman, that teaching is both an art and science. Now let's move to the objectives of teaching. This is the second topic in your Unit 1 of Paper 1 UGC NET from the unit Teaching Aptitude. We need to go through the objectives of teaching. And okay, before this, let me mention that all the above mentioned characteristics of teaching I have taken from a material of Oxford School of Education, and most of the topics that I will teach for Unit 1 will be from that material. After this video, I will upload next the levels of teaching. Okay, so objectives of teaching. And in your exam, you may again face questions of this manner, that which of the following are objectives of teaching, or which of the following are not the objectives of teaching. So you will have to choose among the given options. Now let's go through the objectives of teaching. So the very first objective of teaching is that it brings desirable changes in behavior of the pupil. So the goal of teaching is to bring desirable changes in behavior of the pupil. Next objective is conditioning, and it means to improve the learning skills of the student. Then we have training. Training means shaping behavior and conduct, the way one carries oneself. So, training. The next objective is instruction, and instruction is the acquisition of knowledge. Okay, acquisition of knowledge through a systematic guidance procedure. Then we have indoctrination, and indoctrination means formation of belief. So one of the main objectives of teaching is also the formation of belief. So in a way, one can get indoctrinated through the procedure of teaching. So we can delve deeper into these topics in our further discussions. For today, I will end my topic here, and thank you for watching. If you find this useful, please subscribe to the channel and don't forget to like, share and comment. Thank you.